project, we are going to make these cute little lip balm books. We're going to use some solid cardstock, some scrapbook paper, these lip balms, some glue, and tape runner. This is what they look like, an adorable tiny little book that is tied close with some little ribbon. Let me open one of these up and show it to you. So you open it up, you can see the lip balm is being held on the inside, decorative paper on the left, blank white paper or cardstock on the right to write a little note to your friend that you give this to. So I'm going to show you how to put these together, and you can see I have a decorative die cut on the front that I've mounted with some foam tape. Okay, so to make these, you're going to need some solid cardstock, a large rectangle. I'll give you the dimensions here in the description box. And then you're going to need 3 pieces of patterned cardstock or scrapbook paper, and then 1 piece of solid white, and then another little strip of your patterned paper, a piece of ribbon at about 15 inches, your lip balm, and we're going to use some basic tools to put these together as well, a tape runner, some liquid glue, and I am going to use a corner rounder. We will also use a trimmer and a scoreboard as well. And then these are just some little die cuts that I purchased in a package that will pop up with some pop-up adhesive dots there. So your largest piece to make your book is 5.5 inches by 3.5, and you are going to score it at 2 3/8, and then also at 3 1/8. This is what's going to make the spine of your little book, and that's all the scoring you're going to do. On this one, I'm just showing you that if I flip it over, it still matches. Then on your little strip, which is 1 inch by 3 inches, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch and 2 1/4 inches. This is going to be the little piece that holds our lip balm in the center of our book. So next we are going to fold our book on those score lines that we made, and we're going to burnish it down with our bone folder. Make sure all of our folds are nice and crisp and that our book lines up side to side there. You can see I needed to fix this score a little bit so that it is straighter as we fold it in half. So we're going to fold on those 2 lines for our little book here. And then we're going to come to our little piece. We're going to fold on those score lines, and then this middle section, we're going to take our bone folder, or you can use a pencil. We're just going to round it a little bit. We don't want to stretch out the cardstock. We just want to help it to bend so that it'll be a little more flexible to hold our lip balm in place in the center of our book. Now, I am going to round the corners on my project. I think it just gives it a nice, more finished look. So on the book, we're going to do just the 4 corners here, 2 on the front and 2 on the back. Next, we're going to take our patterned cardstock or paper. We're going to use 3 pieces that measure 2 1/8 inches by 3 1/4 inches. And that's the same dimension for our white cardstock. And then our little strip that's going to go on the spine is 3 1/4 inch by 5/8 of an inch. Now, depending on where these pieces of patterned paper or cardstock are going to go, will determine which corners I am going to round. Now, the polka dots, the solid white, it really doesn't matter which long side I do the 2 corners on because I can flip that around. But obviously the ornaments that are going to go on the front cover, I needed to round those 2 corners on the right-hand side. Now that we have all of our corners rounded, on the outside of our book, you can see I'm going to put a little bit of tape runner down. And I'm going to take my ribbon, find where the middle is, hold that at the spine, and we're just going to use that little bit of adhesive to tack down our ribbon. Then we're going to mount our 2 pieces, actually 3 because the one on the spine as well. Our 2 larger pieces that are 2 1/8 by 3 1/4. We're going to put some adhesive runner. You can use liquid glue as well. And we're going to mount this on the front cover of our little book right over the ribbon. So this is going to help hold our ribbon closure in place. Now we're going to put some adhesive on the other piece of pattern paper, and this one is going to go on the back of our book. And then we will do the skinny strip on the spine as well. I will put all the dimensions for the paper and where to score in the description of the video. So once this is done, you can open that up and have all those measurements. Now coming to the inside of our book, the next thing we need to do is we need to glue on this little piece in the middle that's going to hold our lip balm. So you can see I'm putting glue just on the score line and then on the little flap, not getting it on the rounded part. And we're going to glue this down in the middle of our book. You want the score lines of your little piece to be inside the score lines slightly of the book. So you can see here, I'm going to have this mounted there. I'm going to hold it in place and we're going to press that down really well. You do have a little bit of time with the glue to slide your little piece in or out if you need to move the score line inside the book score lines. Okay, now that that is in place, we can mount our solid white cardstock on the right hand side for writing a little message to your recipient. And then on the left side, we will do another piece of the patterned scrapbook paper. And that is how you put together these cute little lip balm booklets. You're going to slide that lip balm in. You can use any lip balm from anywhere. These are some fruity ones I got from Amazon. Then you're going to tie your ribbon closure. I tied it pretty tight. You can use any ribbon you like. I prefer this 1/8 inch. It's pretty inexpensive and you can get a lot of these little booklets out of one of these rolls. Okay, so we're going to tie that, try and get them a little bit even. And then the last step will be to decorate the front cover, if you'd like, with some sort of die cut or three-dimensional sticker. I am going to apply these just with some adhesive pop-up dots. So cute. So I'm just going to really quickly flip through and show you the 32 that I made. I made 32 because that's how many lip balms came in the package that I purchased. And I just used up a lot of my 6x6 scrapbook paper that I had, and I just kind of mixed and matched some 6x6 cardstock and then some from a new 12 by 12 paper pad that I got this year at Michael's. But these are really fun to make and I hope you guys give them a try. These will make great little stocking stuffers or little gifts to give out if you have a large group that you're a part of that you want to just give everybody a little something. I am going to be packaging these in plastic cello. I do want to indicate somehow on the outside of the package what flavor the lip balm is inside. I think I'm going to do $3 for one or two for $5. Let me know in the comments. Today we're going to make these mini pallet nativities, so adorable and simple, using the mini wood pallet from Dollar Tree, some raffia, tumbling tower blocks, wood stars and beads, as well as some burlap ribbon and this antique wax by Waverly. So I am going to make 2 of these because if I'm making one, I might as well make 2. These will most likely go in my craft show. So I'm taking the baby wipe and I'm just going to darken up these palettes with my antique wax, just dipping it into the lid there, wiping on the wax and also wiping off the excess at the same time. I am going to do the antique wax on the front and the back and the sides. Once that antique wax is dry, I'm going to take my little mini sander here and with some medium grit sandpaper, I'm going to smooth out my palettes, distress the edges a little bit. You can do as much or as little of this as you'd like. I'm just doing this on the front side of each of my palettes. Next, I'm going to take 2 of these little wood cubes from Dollar Tree. I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue and glue those together. This is going to be the body for baby Jesus, and then a little bit more glue on one of the ends, and we're going to glue a wood bead on there. Sorry, I was out of frame there. Now you can see what I made, and we're going to make 2 of these. Next, to make Jesus's swaddling clothes, instead of using white fabric, I'm going to use this burlap ribbon. I'm going to cut a length of it, cut the 2 wired edges off of the sides, and then I'm going to cut this in half and fray the edges a little bit to wrap around Jesus's body. Next, I'm going to use 2 tumbling tower blocks to make the manger on each of my pallets. You can see my one on the left is a little bit higher and it's reclining back. And then this one here on the right is a little bit lower, like all the way down, like this is kind of holding him at an angle. So we're going to glue those tumbling tower blocks onto both of our pallets, and then we'll get our baby Jesus inside. Now I think it looks cute like this, but if you want to add a little bit more texture, we're going to take some pieces of raffia or excelsior grass, and we're going to hot glue some pieces here kind of behind him and then a little bit underneath, just to make it look like there was hay in the manger before they laid him in. We're also going to take some strands of the raffia and we're going to glue them kind of across the top of the pallet here. This is instead of where maybe I would usually do some ribbon across, but I just want to keep kind of with the rustic, really simple, natural kind of theme we have going on. So I'm going to glue that across and let it sit there for a minute. We're going to trim some of the ends, and then this is going to get wrapped around to the back side of the pallet. So now that the glue on the front side holding the raffia has had a chance to set, we're going to now put a little bit on the back, and we're going to pull and stretch the end of the raffia across this glue. I'm also going to use my little spatula here from Dollar Tree's kitchen section. I love using this to press down hot glue to save your fingers. And we're going to wrap this around both sides of our mini pallet. Next, I'm going to take a mini wood star from Dollar Tree, put some hot glue on the back of this as well, and we're going to add this up at the top, right across the raffia here above baby Jesus. Next, taking a Jenga block, I'm going to put some hot glue on here, and we're going to add this to the back of our pallet as a little stand. So I'm going to put it at the base there, and I'm going to kind of angle my pallet back just slightly, pressing that Jenga block into the back of the pallet, and this is going to allow it to stand. And here they are, so quick and easy to make, and I love how simple and beautiful these are. These will be in my craft show. Let me know in the Today we're going to make this shower ring Christmas tree. We're going to need 2 packages of the shower curtain rings and 1 tube of ornaments. So I took 15 of the rings, that's 1 full package plus 3, and I spray painted them green. And then I'm taking this tube of 15 glitter red ornaments. These are smaller, but not the smallest ones they have at Dollar Tree. And I'm going to take the string that comes with the ornaments and I'm going to put it through the ornament top and then tie a knot around the shower ring. I'm getting the knot in that smaller place there where the shower ring connects to it. Now, I will say these strings are not the best, and there were a couple of them that did come untied, and then because I had trimmed them, I couldn't retie them, so I did use jute twine on a couple, and I think next tree I would just use jute twine. It's a little less slippery of a string to tie these on. But go ahead and tie all 15 of your ornaments onto your rings, and then, like you see me doing here, trim off the excess of the string just so it's not super visible when we have our tree put together. Now I had this wood tray from Michael's, I believe. I'm just sanding it down to smooth it, but I have seen these trees done also on the plastic rectangular trays from Dollar Tree as well. So whatever sort of base you have, go ahead and get it ready. I smoothed out this tray and then I'm going to use antique wax to darken it up a little bit. Next, using this level ruler from Dollar Tree, I'm going to start by hot gluing 5 of my rings together. I'm using the ruler to make sure they're going to be straight on the bottom, and I'm trying to get that little notch part right at the top. So just a little dot of hot glue, and I'm going to start first with this row of 5. Once those are connected and dried, we'll move on to a row of 4, then a row of 3, then a pair of 2, and then our single one. I like to make the individual rows first and then put the rows together. Now that all of our rows are connected, we're going to start mounting them onto our base. So here I'm just kind of trying to get placement for this first row of 5. I'll put a little dot of hot glue on the very bottom of each of my rings. Try not to use too much because you don't want it to ooze out and look messy. Once you get it in place, just hold it there until it is dried a little bit so that you know it's going to stay. Then for the next row, you're going to put, I think you can kind of see, I'm putting a little glue on either side of the rings that are down. Obviously not on the outside because nothing's going to stick there. And then the 4 rings that we're putting on top of the 5 are going to sit on that hot glue. Again, hold each row in place to make sure it's dry and it's not going to fall apart when you go to put the next row on. Here we're putting the side by side or side to side glue for the row of 3, and then we'll keep building until we get up to the very top. And then on the very top of the tree, I'm going to use one of these rusty stars from Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the two bottom points of the star, and again hold that in place until it has set. And that is all there is to it. This was super fun to make. You can definitely mix up the colors of the ornaments. I just really wanted to go with the green tree and the red ornaments. Let me know. Today we're making this cute little gumball machine ornament using some of these mini red cups, some pom-poms from Dollar Tree, as well as these round plastic ornaments from Dollar Tree, and some tabs off of some cans. So I could buy these round ornaments in pairs. So I did buy 3 pairs. So I'm going to make 6 of these ornaments here. So I'm going to grab 6 of my little red cups out of my package, and then I'm going to just cut these ornaments apart. I am going to leave the hanger on the top of the ornament. Now I grabbed a package of the glittery pom-poms and the regular ones. We're gonna lay out our 6 cups here and just set our ornaments in the cups so they don't roll around all over our table. So next I'm just going to take out the larger pom-poms in each of the packages here. We're just going to do a variety of green, red, and white, a variety of the glittery ones and the plain ones, but you can definitely do whatever you would like. You could do all the mini tiny ones if you'd like, but I'm just going to do maybe 5 or 6 of these pom-poms in each of the ornaments. So these ornaments are plastic, which I like because they're going to be very lightweight and not break easily. You're just going to pull the pin basically out of the top of each of the ornaments and then squish in the pom-poms that you choose for each of your ornaments. Like I said, I'm going to do some green glittery, some red glittery, and then some green, red, and white of the plain. So once you've got all the pom-poms inside that you want, you're going to go ahead and squeezing the 2 prongs, you're going to get the top of the ornament back in, and this you will do for all 6 of your ornaments. And then once you have those done, I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of the cup and then glue the bottom of the ornament to the bottom of the cup. This is so cute, making a little gumball machine looking ornament. And the last thing we're going to do, just to add that little touch, make this look even more like a gumball machine, I have a tab from a can, a drink can. I'm going to just glue that to the side of the cup. And I love these. These are so cute. You could do, if you're doing like a Candyland birthday party theme, you could make these with lots of different colors of pom-poms inside. These are so easy that kids could make these if an adult does the gluing. I just think these are so fun and simple. I have also seen where people put M&Ms inside as a little party favor. Well, thanks so much. Today we're going to make this busted canvas using two 16 by 20 canvases, this snowflake wrapping paper and gift bag from Dollar Tree, and a couple of other supplies. So when I saw this large gift bag at Dollar Tree, I thought this would be so cute to try my very first busted canvas. I had found these two large 16 by 20 canvases on Facebook Marketplace for just a couple of dollars each, so I thought these would be the great thing to use for this first busted canvas. So what I'm going to do is remove one of the hangers from the bag. The great thing about these gift bags is they're two-sided, so you could actually make two projects from this one bag. So I'm just going to cut out the front side of the bag. You can see I'm leaving a little bit of an edge. This is a little difficult when the bag is so large to cut it straight. So I'm just going to remove that front panel and then trim it as straight as I can. So the Snowman gift bag will be the bottom layer of our busted canvas. On the top layer, on the inside of the canvas, I am going to put this red and white gorgeous snowflake wrapping paper from Dollar Tree. It actually matches the hat of the snowman on the gift bag. It is pretty thin, so just be careful when you're cutting it. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to trim a piece to fit inside the canvas, because when we flip out the busted canvas, we want the snowflakes to show. So just getting it lined up, I'm going to crease it with my fingers to get it cut. It doesn't have to be exact because you're not going to see all the way to the edges of the wrapping paper, but we want to get it to fit as well as possible. So once we've got it cut to fit nicely, we're going to take some Mod Podge and we're going to apply a generous amount here on the back side of our canvas. We're going to brush that out, spread it out as evenly as possible with our paintbrush here, adding more as needed. Then we're going to take our wrapping paper and line up that top edge and corners as well as we can, pressing it down. Now you might get a few wrinkles in here, but it's really not going to matter. Just try to get it down as smoothly as you can, and then we're going to set that aside to dry. Next, coming back to our bottom canvas, I'm going to paint the border. Since the gift bag doesn't completely cover the canvas, I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in the color Pool, and I'm going to paint maybe about 2 inches around the edges on my canvas just to help it blend in better with the gift bag. Just in case we're going to see past where the gift bag is attached, you'll see that nice pool blue, so it'll look like a cohesive piece. Then once that's dry, we're going to take our Mod Podge again and we're going to apply it to the entire front of this canvas, and then we're going to put our gift bag piece down on the center of our canvas. Now this is a little trickier because this is a stretched canvas, so there's some give in the middle. So you maybe are going to want to flip it over and press it from the back. I did end up with a couple bubbles in my bag, but that was okay. Again, I pressed them out and you can't really tell when you see the finished product. So mount that on the middle there, and again, press it out, get out any air bubbles, and then set that aside to dry. One thing to note, I did have the top and the bottom of my bags curling, so I tried to get them down as well as I could with the Mod Podge, but then once I let my bag dry, I just hot glued those top and bottom edges down with my hot glue. The next thing I did once my bag was dry, just so there wasn't such a harsh line there, I took more of that pool blue and in kind of a swirling motion, I painted the edge of the gift bag. So you can see it's kind of softening that edge so there isn't that hard line. Now coming back to our top canvas that has the snowflake wrapping paper on the inside, I decided I was going to keep this front one just plain white, but I decided to add some glitter, some white kind of translucent glitter. So I'm doing, again, a layer of Mod Podge over the entire front side of this top canvas. Once I get my Mod Podge smoothed out and a couple little pieces off there, I'm going to take this extra fine glitter from Walmart and I'm just going to sprinkle it evenly as I can over the entire front of the canvas and then let that dry. Once that glitter was dry and I did shake off the excess, I'm starting with my little Fiskars fingertip knife here, poking a hole in the center, and I'm just going to drag those lines out towards the frame. I am just going to do like north, south, east, and west, and then I'm going to use scissors to do the rest of my pieces. Once I had my canvas busted, I'm now going to flip over my top canvas, run a generous amount of hot glue around the frame of my top canvas, and then we're going to flip it over and stick it to the snowman bag canvas. So we're layering our two canvases here. A lot of people will do a canvas board for their back piece, but because I had the two canvases and I didn't have a canvas board this big, I decided to just do the two canvases. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take all my little triangles that I've cut and I'm just going to roll them just to kind of start getting them used to being pulled back like this. I'm so excited. Do you see how this wrapping paper matches the snowman's hat and scarf perfectly? I love it. I found it at Dollar Tree and you get a big roll for $1.25. All right, so once we get all of our triangles teased back, we're going to start gluing them down. And we're going to do that just by putting a little bit of hot glue on the end. And then you are going to want to hold it in place, especially since you've got that glitter there. You want to hold it in place to make sure it's going to stay. Now I think this turned out really cute as is, but for a last step, I decided to take some polyfill stuffing and just add some to the bottom here around my snowman. So I'm tucking a little bit inside, and then I'm also going to stick some between a couple of these curls here. And I'm not gluing this in, I'm just setting it there. So if I decide I want to remove it, I can without ripping up my gift bag. And I just love how this turned out. I've been wanting to try one of these viral busted canvases for a long time. I want to know what you guys think of this, so please let me know in the comments if you've tried one, if you like them, what you think of this, maybe what I could have done differently. And I thank you guys so much for watching. Here are some videos that you can watch next, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.